Hello and welcome back to Speedhack. I'm Kevin Fallon and Dave Dombrow is behind the lens obeying our social distancing commands. We've got a special edition of Speedhack today. In front of me you can see some football boots. How does that connect to Speedhack? Well, let me tell you. My early career was spent designing a lot of football boots, and I fell in love with a lot of things about football boots. They're really performance oriented, so they become almost a piece of equipment to the people that use them. They also have a wonderful proportion that I really think just looks fast even sitting still when it's done well. They're all about fit too, so there's something really interesting about when fit matters in a product that leads to very specific designs. We're going to take that knowledge about football boots today and we're going to speculate about how those great qualities of great fit, traction being super important, and this sleek dynamic look, how this can translate to a trail shoe. In other words, can we take a top-end soccer boot and translate it to a great trail shoe? Let's find out. Next, I'm going to bring up Dave, and he's going to talk us through some options on how we might put something like this together in a speed hack.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. So let's talk about first the boot that we selected, and that would be the adidas Predator Mutator. So first let's back up. The Predator, legacy boot, right? It's been around a long time, has a ton of history about it, and this is the latest iteration. So what's great about this boot, there's a lot great about it besides the design. Let's start with the slip-on nature of the boot. So when you look at this boot, it has no laces. It's a complete slip-on, and it actually goes quite high. So it's going to give quite a lot of proprioceptive feel around the malleolus, around the ankle, which could be great for trail running. We don't know, but we think maybe that could be the case. Second, the Predator was always known for ball control. And so with this boot, they went back and they really did something great with this idea of this demon skin. And that's what you see, this little red kind of spiny micro injections. And those are used for ball control on the pitch. But in our case, that'll be a great abrasion story. So again, could lend itself really well to trail running. You'll see on the bottom, the plate is really cored out, so they took a lot of weight out of the plate, so that should be great for us. And you can see there is a midfoot stability bridge, but it's hidden underneath here. So Adidas Predator Mutator. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a really soft but very high rebound foam, and we're gonna bore some holes out, and we're actually gonna countersink this boot into this foam. All right, and so what that'll do is it'll allow the cleats to travel and it'll allow the cleats to engage with the ground still because this foam has so much translation to it. You can see here I can squeeze it and you can see how much rebound and how much translation we're actually going to get. In some cases we're actually going to get too much translation, so we're going to need to add some sort of wedge. So this foam is a little bit denser and that'll act as a wedge in the heel, kind of helping to control the translation to some degree, a little bit more stability. So at the end of the day, what we'll do is we'll take this super soft and we'll take the wedge foam and we'll countersink all of it in, and then we will cap it off with this Maxxis tire. And we'll also, of course, put holes in this as well because we want the cleats to actually engage with the ground. So pretty simple build in theory, but a lot going on. One thing to note, you can see here that the nets are actually pretty narrow. When we're talking about trail running though, and because this foam is so soft, we're gonna have to go actually very wide. So that's gonna be another kind of factor in the proportions of this that is gonna be quite unique at the end of the day. So I think there's no better time now. You've seen the pieces, you've seen the boot. Let's get hacking.
So as you can see, we've completed the hack, and boy is it an interesting one. Proportions on this product like nothing else out there. Pretty compelling, a little bit scary. We did do a test hack in our size, took it for a quick run. It is runnable, and it feels unlike anything else, we think. But now it's time for the rabbit to tell us how he really feels about it on a trail.
it certainly is bouncy. It feels good coming
Yeah.
downhill. It doesn't feel too dead. One of the things that you guys have probably ran on enough like that type shoes,
Yeah.
where you just feel like you're kind of just sinking endlessly into the midsole.
Yeah.
You don't get that as much, obviously, due to the design. Because I don't mind the fit at all through here. I just feel like I'm gonna hit the front. There's just not enough lockdown.
And you couldn't feel the cleats like banging into the ground or anything?
No, I don't think you would.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you hit like a weirdly angled rock or something like that, I don't think you're gonna bottom out and those cleats are really gonna like hit hard. I don't
Did
know
it
if
feel like it gave any traction?
it was hard to
Hard to
say.
tell.
Especially coming down right around here, there's some kind of muddier sections, and I tried to throw it in there, and I felt like it grabbed well. I couldn't tell for sure if it was the
Right.
cleats or not,
Or
but
just the rubber, yeah.
in general, it grabbed pretty well.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of fun. It's always hard to know, like, what's the durability on something like that. Probably not
Yeah.
very good.
Oh,
now.
yeah. We also do not know.
Okay, I was just curious more than anything because it feels good now, and I thought, I mean, obviously it's super wide, especially in the forefoot.
Yeah.
But I thought just that, you know, the squishing, like the compliance of the foam was so much so that I wouldn't get stability. But I guess you can only bottom out so much in this, and there's enough rubber that it doesn't feel like you're.
Well, and I think you probably start to engage the cleats, and then you're on a pretty
That's
stable
true.
platform at that point.
That's true.
In
yeah.
theory.
And that's probably, I mean, I guess then that also feels like it probably completes what you're trying to do with the design, where you're not noticing the cleats even if you are engaging them.
Exactly.
That's
Like
kind
I wouldn't
of
have
the
known
idea.
this was a cleated shoe
Well, that's
if you
good.
hadn't told me.
All right, so the Rabbit has run the test loop in these shoes, and it was interesting. It was really interesting. It definitely wasn't as squirrely as he initially thought when he looked at the product and was like, oh my gosh, how is this actually going to perform? He noted that it had quite a bit of trampoline. You know, that's obviously due to this high rebound foam, but it actually had more stability than he thought, and we presume it's because this shoe has a plate, and the plate is actually dispersing a lot of that pressure and giving you more stability, even though this foam is quite soft. And of course the nets are quite wide. We do know that the cleats are engaging with the ground. We can see the wear on them, but he didn't feel any cleat pressure. So that's a win, I would say. And he noticed that the traction was really good. He didn't necessarily say that it was because of the cleats, but the combination could be something. As far as the upper goes, the upper definitely fit, but he said that he did maybe possibly want a little bit more security than just a slip-on the trail. He felt going downhill, especially when he was going fast, that, you know, the toes could possibly hit the front of the shoe. So that's definitely a learning, but it could also be a sizing issue. He said that if the upper was even maybe a half size or a size down from his normal size, that could fix the problem. So all in all, pretty successful hack, not perfect, a fun one nonetheless. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in soon to see our next Speed Hack.